Namaste, Pranam, Gita Dhyanam. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Kratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahā-bāratam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavatveṣhṭi. Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Arjuna. The ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters. O my affectionate mother, destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagatgurum. Son of Vasudeva, slayer of Kamsa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. So Sri Krishna is further going to teach Arjuna and to all of us the importance, what the more details about what is really sannyasa. Arjuna had that doubt, and a lot of people, a lot of the followers also have that doubt. What is actual sannyasa? By sannyasa, do we mean leaving aside home and everything and just going into some kind of wilderness, renouncing home and earth and going into a forest and start doing or performing austerities? Is that the real sannyasa? So Sri Krishna is telling that is not the real sannyasa. In fact, he says in the previous shloka that he started his explanation on this sannyasa yoga in the second shloka, that he said that sannyasaha karma yogaha cha nishreyasa pravubhau, that it is the sannyasa, renunciation as well as performance of action, both lead to liberation. Nishreyasa prav, it leads to highest bliss. Among these two, among so-called renunciation, which is misunderstood, between renunciation and between performance of action, pramuchyate vishishyate, performance of action is far superior than renouncing the work, escaping from doing any work. You may escape from work to gain knowledge, fine. That path also may lead to liberation. But Sri Krishna says that karma yogaha vishishyate, the performance of action is far superior. And now Sri Krishna is further going to talk about that performance of action with the knowledge of renunciation. Jñeyaḥ sa nitya-sannyāsī yo na dveṣhṭi na kāṅkṣhati nirdvandvo hi mahā-bāho sukhaṁ bandhāt pramuchyate. O mahā-bāho, O mighty armed, O Arjuna. Sri Krishna is continuing his teaching. O mahā-bāho, jñeyaḥ should be known, know for sure. What? Saha nitya-sannyāsī. Know for sure that person be a constant renouncer, to be a constant ascetic, steady sannyasi, a steady renouncer. Know that person. Who is such person? Who is a steady sannyasi? Who is a constant sannyasi? Who is a steadfast renouncer? Na dveṣhṭi na kāṅkṣhati. That is the quality of a person. Na dveṣhṭi. Na dveṣhṭi means he doesn't hate anybody. There is no hatred, there is no enmity, there is no grudge against anyone in his mind. For him, the entire world is his own. There is no na dveṣhṭi and na kāṅkṣhati. He has no desires. He doesn't need anything for himself, for the little self. He doesn't seek anything. Na dveṣhṭi, na kāṅkṣhati. One who is imbibed with these two qualities, freedom from hatred and freedom from desires, desires with the selfish motive. One who has these two qualities, know for sure he is a nitya-sannyāsī. He is the one who is a steady, who is a constant ascetic. He has given up everything. A person who doesn't have desire, he doesn't need anything. A person who doesn't hate anybody, a person who is not jealous of anybody, a person who doesn't curse anybody, he doesn't need anything for his own, because for him everything is his own. All desires, so-called desires, are fulfilled the moment desires of others are fulfilled, because he sees himself in the entire creation. So, nirdvandvo he mahā-bāho. Mahā-bāho, he is addressing Arjuna, mighty armed. Oh, mighty armed, nirdvandvo. Such a person is free from the pairs of opposites. Our entire life gets, in a mess, so-called mess, because of these pairs of opposites. Pain and pleasure, joy and sorrow, happiness and unhappiness. All these pairs of opposites, they ruin our life. One moment we are in the ninth heaven, one moment we are jumping up and down with little good that happens to us. And another moment, little bad happens, we are in doldrums. We are just frustrated, we are desperate, we get deluded like Arjuna in the first adhyaya of Vishada Yoga. We get desperate. Little thing going against our expectations. But this nitya-sannyāsī is nirdvandvo. He is beyond the pairs of opposites. If something good happens to him, it is God-given. He doesn't lose his peace of mind. If something bad happens to him, it is also God-given. Why to lose peace of mind? If it is bad today, it will be good tomorrow. If it is good today, it will be bad tomorrow. That is his understanding. Whatever comes to him is God's gift. So, nirdvandvo. mahā-bāho, that person is nirdvandvo. And sukhaṁ bandhāt pramuchyate. Once one is free from the pairs of opposites, sukhaṁ bandhāt pramuchyate. He is easily set free from bandhāt, from the bondage, from the attachments. And that person, only that person is capable, is rather fit to enjoy the ultimate peace. So this is what Sri Krishna is again explaining about. Don't mistake sannyasa to be just giving up everything and going into forest. That person is verily a steady sannyasi who is free from dveṣhṭi and desires, who is free from hatred, who is free from desires, who is beyond pairs of opposites. That only that person, O mighty armed, is easily set free from the bondage. He should be known a constant sannyasi who neither hates nor desires, free from pairs of opposites. O mighty armed, he is easily set free from bondage, he is easily set free from attachment. It is not sannyasa if a man renounces duty due to dislike. If I don't like some work and I say, oh, I am taking a sannyasa, I am not going to do that work. It is not the sannyasa. So what, I don't like doing that work. That work is a God-sent opportunity for me to do something. Let me do it. Not to give up that work because I don't like it. And there is another thing that happens when we give up doing any work, when selfishness masquerades here as self-denial. I've got some self-interest in doing something else rather than doing this. Rather than doing this work which has come to my lot, I have got interest in something else for my selfish interest. And I avoid doing this work which has come to me. That is not actually a sannyasa. That is running away. That is escaping from one duty, thinking that other duty is going to be wonderful, and not doing the duty which has come to my lot. Then there is the man who mistakes inertia in himself as equilibrium, being free from opposites. Free from the pairs of opposites is considered to be a steady-mindedness, sthita prajna, that Sri Krishna had given the definition. One who is same-sighted in both happiness and misery, in joy and misery, in pleasure and pain. One can remain that same steady attitude, not getting desperate, not getting affected by whatever is happening to him, whether good or bad. Now sometimes what happens, the inertia gets in us, the jadatva, the tamas that gets into us, we start comparing it with that stage of equilibrium. Actually, I don't want to, I just want to sit like this, doing nothing, and I give it a term that I am beyond pairs of opposites. I am beyond desires. I am beyond hatred. It is not so. In reality, it is just a facade I am creating myself, giving all these adjectives that I have reached a stage of equilibrium, but in fact it is inertia. It is lethargy. It is the dullness that has got upon me, which is preventing me, which is not allowing me to do my duty. And I give it a name of, I've reached a stage of equilibrium. I don't see any joy or any sorrow while doing this work. The real stage is totally different. If that stage really comes, a person will never run away from duty. Inertia will never set in that person who has really attained the equilibrium. So it is kind of a hypocritic way. It is kind of a false representation of equilibrium to hide our inertia, to hide our tamas, to hide our jadatva. His delight in slothfulness, his delight in sitting idle is interpreted as delight in the self. He wants to show himself that he is enjoying the bliss of merged in self by just sitting idle, doing nothing. It is not reality. Sometime or the other, that veil will be lifted. Sometime or the other, that scenario, that entire situation that he has created for himself to show that he is in equilibrium, that will get exposed. And then it will be total destruction of that person. It will be total ruin. It is not action but attitude that binds or liberates the man. The attitude with which one works, that binds or liberates. Emptiness of post-tranquility gets itself exposed in tribulation, in difficult times, that whatever that facade one has brought upon himself of being a learned, being a knowledgeable, having gained atma-jnana, and therefore I am not doing this work. That the whole thing, that facade that he has created, it will just blow away one day. In the midst of intense activities, he is free from likes and dislikes. Now, a real yogi, a real jnani, one who has really attained that illumination, that stage of enlightenment, he will be continuously busy in the work. At the same time, he will be free from likes and dislikes. There is no work that is disliked by that person who is indeed equipoised, who is indeed sthita prajna. True tranquility is therefore tangible in him. Such a person, when he is working selflessly, that is perceived by one and all. When sun starts coming from in the horizon, does anyone need to tell sun is rising? Everyone comes to know sun is rising, and people start doing their activities the moment day breaks. Nobody needs to be told of sun is rising now. Light shines forth from the horizon and wakes up all the beings who are sleeping. Same is the case with the person who is really doing the selfless work. He may be busy in doing so many activities, but it need not be proclaimed. One need not, start beating the drums and tell, oh, this person, he is working in the selfless manner. He is so busy. He has no attachment to the work that he is doing. Nobody needs to beat these trumpets. Automatically, people know of such a person who is doing selfless work in spite of he is being so much active. Varieties of activities. He may be running a school, he may be running a hospital, he may be doing this, he may be laying roads, he may be digging tanks. He means his teams. But all these things are being done without any self-interest. Therefore, the Karma Yogi, while acting, he is not the agent. While being in the world, he is not of the world. When all these activities a person is doing, he never claims himself to be the doer of those activities, because he is just an instrument. It is the Lord's work. It is the mother's work. He is just an instrument. So there is no ownership. And then, while being in the world, he is not of the world. Yes, he is doing everything. He is so much engrossed in this prakriti, the creation, but he is beyond the creation, because he has merged his little self with higher self. For him, all his beings are his own reflections, his own manifestations, the manifestations of the Brahman, and for their sake he is working, he is doing Lord's work. And this one can do only when na dveṣhṭi na kāṅkṣhati, when one doesn't hate, when one doesn't aspire anything, when one doesn't have any desires for anything, and nirdvandvo, is beyond the pairs of opposites. Only such a person can be termed as a nitya-sannyāsī, even if he is doing lots of works, but he is a nitya-sannyāsī. So that is a beautiful definition of this nitya-sannyāsī that Sri Krishna has given us in this third shloka of the Sannyas Yoga, the 5th adhyaya of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur Jai Ma. Jai Swami.